Welcome back to Movie Synopsis. Today, I will show you an American dark comedy film from 2020 titled The Hunt. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Athena sits at her desk, engrossed in her phone, exchanging memes with friends. Their conversation shifts to the manor and an upcoming hunt. Meanwhile, a stewardess approaches a man, offering him food, mentioning caviar, but he declines, preferring dishes prepared in a kitchen. He makes a sarcastic comment when informed they only have kitchen-prepared items and requests champagne instead. As the stewardess returns with the champagne, a disheveled man suddenly stumbles in, startling everyone. The man who requested champagne remarks that someone is awake. An elderly gentleman intervenes, identifying himself as a doctor and urging the stumbling man to lie down on towels. Surprisingly, the doctor swiftly administers a stab to the man, causing shock among the bystanders. The man, though wounded, reacts by flinging a bottle around in a frenzy until Athena enters the scene and swiftly incapacitates him with a stab from her shoe. Others remark that things haven't even started yet. While cleaning her shoe, Athena asserts that sentimentality has no place in their situation. The older man from earlier then moves the injured man to another compartment of the plane. Despite his pleas for help, a blonde woman he calls out to is unconscious. Later, the same woman regains consciousness outside, finding herself gagged and unable to remove it. As she stands up, she notices another gagged woman across a river, fashioning a makeshift compass. Though briefly acknowledging each other's presence, the second woman walks away just as a man passes behind her. She trails the man to a field where a massive crate sits at the center, with a few others converging around it. Despite warnings that it might be a trap, the man proceeds to open the crate. Others hide as he does so. Upon opening it, a pig darts out, followed by the man retrieving a rack filled with weapons from inside. Intrigued, everyone in the field gravitates toward the crate, including the previously unconscious blonde woman. Taking advantage of the commotion, she manages to find the keys to the gags and assists one of the restrained individuals in freeing themselves. Amidst the confusion, no one seems to have a clear understanding of what is transpiring. As gunfire erupts, chaos ensues, and everyone scrambles for cover. The blonde woman narrowly avoids one bullet but is unexpectedly shot. In retaliation, a person from the group fires back in the direction of the assailant, only to meet a similar fate. With others still concealed, a woman rushes out and falls into a ditch, where she's found by a fellow survivor. Despite being impaled, she's alive, and they flee together. Tragically, their escape is cut short when the man steps on a landmine, triggering a devastating explosion. Meanwhile, another survivor manages to evade the gunfire and reaches a fence. When approached by someone, he nearly opens fire but realizes it's the man who originally opened the crate. As two more survivors join them, they collectively leap over the fence to escape, leaving the man who discovered the weapons behind. Tragically, he's struck by a spear and decides to confront his assailants, meeting his demise shortly after. The remaining trio manages to reach a gas station for refuge. Inside, they encounter the owners, a couple who initially fear they're being robbed. Blue Shirt, one of the survivors, assures them they're not after money, but simply need to know their location. Learning they're in Arkansas, Blue Shirt requests to use the phone to contact the police. The tension escalates when the woman accidentally chokes on a poison cookie. The gas station owners, now wearing gas masks, swiftly deploy a smoke grenade, incapacitating the survivors. Before Blue Shirt can retaliate, he's fatally shot by the man. The woman assists in subduing the other survivor with the grenade, and they proceed to eliminate both of them. After venting the gas, they take care to clean up the aftermath, disposing of the bodies. Stricken with guilt upon noticing Blue Shirt's wedding ring, the woman's husband reassures her that it's irrelevant, as he was likely a nefarious individual. Tensions rise as the couple debates the nuances of racism, with the husband suggesting the deceased Blue Shirt might have been racist. Amidst their discourse, a radio call interrupts, informing them of another incoming target. They swiftly prepare the gas station for the impending arrival. Meanwhile, Crystal approaches the gas station, greeted warmly upon entry. As she completes her transaction, she senses something amiss and launches a sudden attack. Seizing a shotgun from beneath the counter, she eliminates the man first, swiftly followed by the wife. Crystal conducts a thorough search of the gas station, discovering the lifeless bodies before arming herself with rubber bands and ammunition. Exiting the station, she notices a truck parked nearby and proceeds to inspect it. Upon closer examination, she uncovers fake license plates concealing Croatian ones beneath and detects a tripwire rigged to a bomb connected to the door. As she eavesdrops on the conversation via the radio she pilfered, she overhears the hunters discussing her disappearance and their failed search for the gas station couple. Upon sending a drone to investigate the station, it promptly gets shot down. The man responsible for downing the drone then emerges, venting his frustration by further damaging it. However, However, Crystal intervenes just in time, warning him of the rigged truck. Crystal expresses her skepticism regarding the man's theory about being hunted by liberal elites. She questions the credibility of such a fantastical scenario, despite his insistence that he read about it in an article. Undeterred, the man elaborates on the premise, detailing how these elites orchestrate the kidnapping of individuals for sport, hunting them down in a manor setting. Despite his conviction, Crystal remains dubious of the far-fetched explanation. She hears a train approaching and tells the man to run so they could catch up to it. They hop the train, and once inside, they find a group of immigrants hiding. The man says that they're not real, that they're crisis actors. They also don't speak English. Crystal isn't convinced in his theories again. Suddenly, the train stops and the military police searches the compartments. Crystal and the man, along with the immigrants, surrender. The police is frisking them when the man decides to tell one of the officers that the two of them are American and that the refugees are actually crisis actors. The officers don't speak English and step aside when one of the immigrants speaks to the man in fluent English with an American accent. He says they don't believe him, and the man freaks out. The immigrant tells him that he's the only actor and that he needs to calm down. The man tackles him and puts a grenade in his pants as everyone else hides. The guy blows up. Next, Crystal is in a truck being taken to a refugee camp. Once there, she is taken to an officer who asks her for her papers. She asks where she is, and when they don't answer, she begins guessing and finally guesses right, Croatia. She asks them to call the American embassy, but instead, they bring in Dawn, another one of the people that were hunted along with her. As they dine in the camp kitchen, Don continues to espouse his conspiracy theories to Crystal. However, their conversation is abruptly interrupted by the arrival of an official from the American embassy, there to escort them. During their journey through the woods with the official, Crystal becomes suspicious of his behavior. Sensing danger, she takes matters into her own hands, incapacitating the official and swiftly ejecting him from the vehicle. As Crystal searches through the trunk, she discovers a gun hidden in the official's jacket. Meanwhile, Dawn, initially horrified by Crystal's actions, peers into the trunk and discovers the lifeless body of the other man who was previously with them. Realizing they may be the last survivors, Dawn suggests fleeing in the car, but Crystal has other plans. She decides to use the map found in the trunk to track down those responsible for hunting them and seek revenge. As they discuss their next move, Crystal recounts a chilling story her mother used to tell her. Meanwhile, at the bunker, the group of hunters engage in casual conversation about political correctness and societal norms. Inside the bunker, the group of hunters continues their banter despite the soldiers' insistence on maintaining silence. Athena's voice over the radio interrupts their chatter, ordering them to quiet down. One of the hunters steps outside to relieve himself, and Dawn uses the opportunity to create a distraction with a pig while Crystal takes him out. As tension mounts outside the bunker, the group inside hears suspicious noises. The soldier tries to give them instructions, but his guidance is met with disregard. When Dawn inadvertently releases the pig inside, chaos ensues, resulting in the hunters shooting the animal dead. Upset by their actions, one of the women expresses her frustration just as Crystal strikes, eliminating one of the men and initiating a firefight with the others. Crystal quickly dispatches the soldier and incapacitates him before turning her attention to the woman, whom she swiftly dispatches with a decisive blow. Engaging in a struggle with another man for a rifle, she manages to find a single bullet and uses it to eliminate him. Moving on to the sniper, Crystal ensures there are no survivors left standing. Just when she believes the threat is over, the soldier launches a surprise attack, leading to a fierce struggle between them. Armed with a pipe, Crystal gains the upper hand, but refrains from delivering a fatal blow. As she prepares to execute the surviving woman, Dawn intervenes, interrupting her intent. He finds a gun, and Crystal tells him to ask the woman why they were doing that to them. She gives a stupid answer, and Crystal wants to kill her, but Dawn stops her, saying she's a woman and should be spared. Crystal asks the woman if she should be afforded mercy just because she's a woman, and as she answers no, Crystal shoots her. Dawn freaks out, and suddenly Athena's voice appears on the radio, asking if he got Crystal, to which she points her gun at him. He says he's not one of them, as Athena keeps asking what's going on over the radio. She tells Dawn to kill Crystal, as he pleads with her not to trust the woman on the radio, but she shoots him regardless. Crystal tells Athena that Dawn is dead, and Athena tells her to come and get her. Crystal sits down next to the soldier and has a civil conversation with him, until she asks where Athena is. She tells him that she won't give up and presses his wound, so he tells her where she is hiding. He gives her the information, but cautions her that she was preparing for the hunt for months. Crystal kills him too. A flashback to 1 year earlier takes us to Athena's office, where two people from the company are waiting for her. They talk about the text message she had about the hunt. In Athena's office, she initially dismisses the text message about the hunt as a joke, but her associates express concern about potential fallout and urge her to resign from her position to avoid a PR disaster. Unfazed, Athena requests a list of individuals spreading the conspiracy theory. In another flashback set 8 months earlier, the group deliberates on selecting participants for the hunt. When Crystal's image and critical opinions of Athena are displayed, Athena becomes infuriated and designates Crystal as her primary adversary. Back in the present, Crystal approaches a manor as Athena warns her over the intercom to disarm or face the consequences of activated C4 explosives beneath the gate. Crystal complies, leaving her gun outside as instructed, and enters the manor. Beethoven's music sets an eerie backdrop as she cautiously navigates the interior, noticing portraits of herself and the other hunted individuals adorning Athena's wall. In the kitchen, Athena awaits, engaged in cooking. She inquires about Don's fate, withholding whether he was part of their group. The exchange reveals mutual ignorance of each other's identities. They discuss Athena's motivations for orchestrating the hunt, with Crystal mocking her for turning a mere conspiracy theory into a grim reality, thereby validating the suspicions against her. As the confrontation escalates, Athena discloses a crucial revelation: Crystal is not the intended target. The woman who propagated the vile conspiracy theories shares Crystal's last name, but is a different individual altogether. Enraged and fueled by this newfound knowledge, Crystal seizes a knife and launches a ferocious assault on Athena. The ensuing brawl is intense, with both combatants displaying remarkable strength and endurance. Crystal hurls various objects at Athena in a desperate bid to gain the upper hand, even targeting an expensive bottle of champagne, which Athena miraculously deflects from shattering. Despite Crystal's efforts, Athena manages to overpower her momentarily, sending her crashing near the fireplace. However, the tables turn as Athena retrieves a shotgun and pursues Crystal upstairs, intensifying the deadly game of cat and mouse. They fight for the gun, but Crystal pushes her down the stairs and jumps down. Athena goes for a knife next and stabs Crystal. They fight outside for a moment and get to the kitchen again, where Athena stabs Crystal with a vegetable cutter, but as she kicks her, Crystal pulls her in and stabs her with the other side of the cutter. Athena dies, but Crystal survives. She gets up, eats the toast, and closes her wound with a blowtorch. She cleans herself up and puts on one of Athena's dresses, as well as her shoes. Before she leaves, she takes the expensive champagne. She walks outside and sees Athena's private jet. When she walks inside the jet, she tells the stewardess and the captain that she killed their bosses and threatens them with a gun, telling them to take her home. She sits down, and the stewardess prepares a snack and the champagne for her. Crystal invites her to eat and drink with her. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.